All right, good day, everyone. My name is Tom Glodowski. I'm a managing director and principal of advisory services at Windval Technology Solutions. And we're conducting a number of Windval spotlights on technical leadership around the industry. And today we are very fortunate to be joined by Sagar Modi, who is a senior global architect for unified communication and collaboration at Cushman Wakefield. Sagar, good day. Thank you for joining.
Hey, yep, good to be here, Tom.
Super. We really appreciate you being here. Today, we're going to be taking Sagar through just a number of questions, kind of in a discussion format here, to really spotlight what Cushman Wakefield has been doing in the areas of modern collaboration. It's a really hot topic right now in the industry for obvious reasons. It's always been a hot topic, but now with COVID-19, it's even more of a big deal. So, Sagar, if you're ready, we're going to go ahead and get started.
All right, let's do it.
All righty. So I guess first thing, for those that may not be familiar with who Cushman Wakefield is, why don't you just give us a brief overview of your business and give the audience that overview of Cushman Wakefield?
Absolutely. So yeah, Cushman Wakefield, we're a global commercial real estate firm, putting our clients and people at the center of what's next. Our footprint is about 53,000 team members across 60 countries and $8.8 billion in revenue.
Wow. You know a thing or two about commercial real estate around the world. Awesome. Great. So today the focus really is your area of expertise and my passion, and I have a big background in it as well, unified communications and collaboration. Why don't you just give the audience an overview of what you have built and how you're tuning it today from a modern collab standpoint, the environment, the platforms, and most importantly, key capabilities, user experience. Why don't you tell us?
Yeah, absolutely. So from the UCC side, we're just heavily involved in the Microsoft stack. So we're almost all fully Skype online, transitioning to Teams. And this was showcased even more in how agile, reliable, and mobile the solution can be given the current climate. Because we had a purely online footprint, we were able to be ahead of our competitors given this when COVID-19 fully took effect in the States and abroad. The pressure was felt, and the availability of all of our brokers to be there for our clients due to the technology we had really benefited us.
Fantastic. Were you an early, you really were an adopter with Skype for Business online. Did you have any Skype for Business on-prem infrastructure prior to move to online?
Yeah, we had a little bit. So prior to our merger, we had an on-prem footprint. And when I talk about our merger in about 2015, DTZ merged with Cushman Wakefield. They brought some on-prem infrastructure with them. And during that merger in that time period, we were transitioning to Skype Online at that time. I think about it's been over 4 years now. Our CTO actually spoke at Ignite on being one of the first to move to Skype Online and the benefits of that. Obviously, we've come a long way with the technology since then. But given the fact that we were able to be pioneers there, our colleagues got used to that technology. The shift over to Teams has been quite seamless for everyone.
Wow, very nice. Really nice how that played out, right? So you have a nice early intro to the cloud with the Skype for Business Online platform, which made it even more easier to move to Teams. A lot of large organizations had a pretty appreciable investment in on-prem infrastructure. And then as you move down market, small, medium businesses, they kind of natively start in the cloud. So it's really good you guys had that early start to make that transition and actually get your users, I'm assuming, very comfortable with a cloud type delivery format. Good deal. So you're moving towards Microsoft Teams. How far along are you on your journey?
Yeah, we started our journey about almost the same time COVID started. So we started we started piloting probably late last year. So we're almost about a quarter through of our journey. We're getting there. It's actually COVID's allowed us to move a lot quicker than originally anticipated. We've learned that, we don't give our users enough credit that they deserve. So maybe they don't need all that hand holding that you would expect to slow us down. So we're moving quickly. The adoption's picking up, and we're really working with the partnership with Microsoft's been very strong to continue to get those new features as they get released, and then we're specifically targeting individual groups that may be needing certain features more than others. So it's an ongoing process.
It's a powerful platform, right? Just not only from a UC&C standpoint, right, but so many of the other modalities, project collaboration, data collaboration, co-authoring, the whole Teams ecosystem is big and powerful. I'm assuming you guys are all in on Teams, not just from a UC&C standpoint?
From a collaboration aspect, all of our colleagues are fully utilizing Teams for that. That's been available to them from almost day one. And they've been picking up on it even more. So the transition's almost, it's pretty natural from that point of view.
Fantastic. So with regard to UC&C, I'm curious to how your end users are consuming and engaging that platform. So maybe you can just touch a little bit on mobile aspects if you're doing that, what you're doing from a soft client, maybe perhaps on a desktop or laptop form factor. And then I'd love to know what you're doing, even in this day and age, what's going on in the conference rooms? What are you doing from a team system standpoint?
Absolutely. So UC&C is a little different in the vertical that we are. Other companies are able to probably grasp Teams and be sold on it a little easier than our vertical, as the telephony portion of that is still very important in real estate. So it's not just about the internal collaboration that's being offered, and that's how Microsoft really sells the platform. And that's how, and not just Microsoft, all the competitors across the space, they really showcase that the ability to collaborate internally. As we mentioned before, we're all about putting our clients next. So we take that step first to see, all right, is this technology also going to be able to equally benefit us externally? And that piece is, as you mentioned, the soft client, the desk phone and conference rooms do come into play. So from that point of view, we are on Skype Online. Primarily, we did a good job. We try to do about a 90-10 split in terms of headset versus handset. And we're continuing to strive even more that way. Like I mentioned, right, there's individuals who are very heavy, telephony users who need that physical device to punch and dial and get that satisfaction. It's on their desk. It's been there. So that it's gonna remain. But from working from home, we're looking to drive that headset adoption even more so. So potentially even something more like a 95-5 split on that. We've also utilized this time period to refresh our conference rooms. As we're moving to Teams, our conference rooms were designed purely around the Skype Online environment. And that's changing. So we have this time frame where some of our biggest obstacles were there's no time frame to get in a conference room, because we utilize those rooms like almost every org, but just with their clients are always there. They're very externally used to. So we're currently refreshing those as we speak. We're making just almost about the same progress as we are, probably 20-25% already completed, if not higher, from a refresh. So that's been going pretty well. We're introducing Microsoft Teams rooms.
Fantastic to be able to take the Teams experience, the user experience, take it through all delivery locations, all delivery devices. And how good you guys are doing is by taking the aggressive stance of looking at this downtime period to get in and really refresh the environment and homogenize it with Teams rooms. Very, very cool. One other quick question. You mentioned telephony is still really important in your business, and thank you so much for saying that. Right, phone calls are still a really big part of the world. Are you doing any hard phones that are registering directly to Teams? Like, do we have hard telephones in your commercial office space? And then what about work from home? Are you doing hard phones, or I think you said you're really going to rely on the soft client there?
Yeah, so we haven't introduced any hard phones at home. We are currently evaluating potential replacements of our current hard phones that are there. First and forefront, we would like to trim that down from an operational management perspective, as it makes everyone's life easier. In the cases that it cannot, we are looking at a lot of options. It is, based on the current climate, it's our understanding that the way it's currently gone is the focus has shifted away from hardware a little bit from the partners. So we've also put it on our later part of our strategy. So a lot of our sites that have most of our hard phones, they're getting pushed out to the later part of the schedule as they return to the office during those times, as we currently have the luxury of not needing to address those right away.
Thoughtful approach. It is a software world, software-defined world, right? We see clients that still have workforces that still want to see that device on the desk with the coiled cord and the handset. So it's very interesting how you've structured your program and can adapt it in the areas that you need to. So it's great. That
Yeah,
takes
as
us
we like
right.
to phrase it,
Yeah.
just sorry,
Go
one. Yeah, as we like to phrase it, right? We have all these meeting solutions coming into play right now, but we can't forget the importance of the phone call that leads to the meeting. So we really just want to continue to shoot for that and make sure that's being addressed.
I really appreciate that. So you mentioned the room refreshes. Any other key UC&C projects that are underway in your environment in this time frame?
Yeah, we have a pretty interesting one that I wasn't anticipating till it showed up, and it is around our contact centers. So we have a lot of disparate different contact centers that are basically just riding off, legacy PBX systems that really didn't need to be fully scaled because we don't have, that volume of calls coming in as, someone who sells a product would. But as we support our clients, we do have contact centers when we're managing their spaces, providing occupier services. And an item that came up is during this time frame, we still need to provide that service, have someone answer those phones, but hey, they don't always have the luxury of being in the office given this time. And there's so many independent systems. This has proven a good time to align both things. So move away from the disparate contact center legacy PBX systems and align with our overall UCC strategy that, rides on that backbone of Microsoft Teams. So we are looking to start, consolidating to one global solution.
Fantastic. Yeah. Reaching out to customers and supporting them in many different industries, really, really big. So it's great when you can pull that into your existing UC&C platform strategy. Fantastic. Great. What would you say your top success for modern collaboration at Cushman Wakefield is or has been or is emerging?
Yeah, so our top success recently was just showcased was there was an unexpected test, right? COVID-19 hit. The IT orgs at companies were not expecting it, but it's not something we prepared for, trained for. But it was really showcased the importance of all that investment we made in our technology stack being, purely almost all online. Really, those dividends were felt across the board. Our clients benefited, our colleagues internally benefited, and we were, almost able to continually ready to operate without skipping a beat.
Boy, that's a really key point. We're talking with a number of clients right now about remote worker optimization. No one saw this coming, right? When you talk about business continuity and DR, global pandemics was always on the list, but it was always fairly down low on the list,
Yep.
and everyone kind of chuckled about it, right? But here we are, living through it, and the direct and indirect impacts of this COVID-19 situation has really been an interesting challenge from a technology and from a culture standpoint, and from keeping the business continuity going. So, really, really good. You guys were well positioned to be able to take advantage of that. Cloud adoption is soaring in this time. With people already on that journey, but this COVID-19 has really accelerated that quite a bit. So man, we've heard a lot about the great things and the successes and the exciting technology you're using, but let me ask you a candid question. What are some of the top challenges you're having with modern collaboration? Is it all rosy and rainbows and unicorns?
Yeah, we could only wish, right? So we talked about all this great technology that we have available to our colleagues, to our clients. The one thing we don't have any control over is that last mile of how that technology is delivered. And the unfair stigma that may arise with that because we we have less control over that last mile overall. When introducing new technology, given that, the user's responsibility for that last mile, it may just have a bad name that gets a result with it if they happen to have, a not great internet connection for X amount of reasons as we're introducing that tech, probably will not be viewed in the greatest light. So that's something we're working on to address. And I think that's more just user training of expectations on, how to improve that, how to handle that. And I think everyone overall is getting more and more accepting onto certain things are out of one's control, whether it's your dog barking or when someone's at home, or whether it's, just having a choppy connection that it's going to go in and out. So I think this is just some things that, are out of our hands, but it is a challenge. We don't have exact control over it.
Boy, my friend, you nailed it. In one of the studies we just completed for a large client on remote worker optimization, the availability, quality, consistency, reliability of your network end-to-end system was the number one challenge. Not only the ISP connection you have at your residence, but in many cases, your home network infrastructure as well. And what we found is it's great for IT techies that are really, really savvy with this, with hands-on. They can design and deploy and troubleshoot. But there's a lot of people that don't understand the bits and the bytes, right? And so being able to put out job aids and best practices, troubleshooting guides, how to advocate for yourself with your ISP are all really, really big things. You know, in a connected world, you have to be connected in a reliable and consistent fashion. So very, very interesting. Thanks for sharing that. Any other challenges that come to mind?
No, those are our main ones. I mean, I'm sure we have all challenges and go on the small tidbits, but I think currently that is our number one item. And the other ones, right, you can continually strive and make individual fixes, but this is one that, to a certain degree, just don't have much control over.
Absolutely. Great. I really want to thank you very much for taking the time with our audience here today to talk about what's going on in the environment here and all the great successes that you're doing driving modern collaboration in your environment. So thank you so much for your time and insights and sharing with the audience here today.
Yep. Thanks for having me, Tom.